What is up, everybody? Rowdy Rocka with Juicy Jeri. We've established that name for her last episode.
I'm Juicy Jeri, if anyone's curious.
So we are going to talk about
piercings, tattoos.
And tattoos. I feel like that's
We've got some experience.
I feel like that's where we're going now. We're going to talk about like our experiences with them, how they feel, what we
wouldn't do again, what we maybe would do,
and like what we do differently.
Maybe we can dip into other like cosmetic procedures, things that we've thought of, things that we're gonna do, other things that we've seen that we're maybe interested in.
We can we'll go on this for a long time. So we will start with
experiences on the body.
Yeah. So tattoos. I mean, if you know either of us personally, you know we have quite a bit of them. What would you say is your worst area?
Ankle, 100% my ankle.
Front of the ankle?
It just stung the whole time. I've got that same spot done twice.
Yeah.
Second time was worse, but it just stung.
See, mine was the inner forearm because it's so thin. There's no skin there, and the constant rubbing and wiping, like I find that just,
I think my
it was just raw.
Design was a lot thinner than yours and it was worse, so maybe quicker than you, which is why it didn't bother me as bad.
Yeah, see.
I have stretch marks and stuff right there, but it's probably quicker than your experience.
Oh my gosh, mine was like 5 hours of just constant aggression and like wiping, and I was like, it never ends. And like I have a full sleeve. If those of you who don't know us, I guess we should explain that. But I have an elbow appointment coming. And I'm kind of nervous because I hear that the elbow is not a fun spot.
No, not at all.
I'm kind of not looking forward to the elbow, if I'm being honest. Like, it's in October, and I'm kind of, like, happy because I'm actually petrified that it's going to be brutal. Let's see. What else was, like, painful? Fingers weren't nice.
Oh! I have my whole hand done, and that quite literally is the one spot that I would love to say I would never do again, but I am about to get touched up in September.
Yeah.
I've never cried for a tattoo till that tattoo, and I crushed your thigh to prove it.
Unfortunately, you have to get that one done like 17 times, and even then it doesn't stay, so we have to relive this.
On the bright side, Sam has a beautiful moon and dots, but my full fingers are they're detailed. Mandalaed, that's for sure. Cute,
but it's not easy. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, it was so good, we were tough. No, we were both like bitches.
I had a girl come in at my last job, and she, for whatever reason, she didn't notice my whole hand was tattooed, but she had like her zodiac sign done, and she asked how it felt or how she thought it felt, and then she was like squeamish, that it really stung, and I showed her my whole hand, and she's like, oh, it was awful. And I heard these other girls going, you're such a baby, like you only have your tiny little zodiac, and I'm like, I had my whole hand and I cried. Like, it's truly a bad spot.
Like this little moon and like the dots on each finger, like I won't even lie, it was not.
It just stings. It's like someone's dragging something through your burn.
Yeah, and it stings after, too. Like, we were in the car, and you're still stinging for, like, a day.
Yeah.
Because, like, the skin you're using and
it's
everything,
swollen.
Right? Oh, yeah, it swells up cute.
Hands are delicate.
Jeri had little fat fingers.
On top of my already chunky little fingers, they were, like, man hands for a day. Yeah. Maybe 2.
I feel like other than that, nothing's really been, like, painful. Like, I have ribs done. It wasn't bad. I have my whole, like, thigh done. That even wasn't too bad. Like, I find stretch marks are one spot that you go over. It's not fun.
Oh, no. I've narrowly avoided. My arm, I've just missed by, like, a centimeter. Yeah. My ribs, I've missed by about a centimeter because I have it right at the tip of my butterfly wing.
It hurts. Like, it's not fun. Mm-mm. So the thigh was, like, it was intense because I'm a thick bitch, you know? So you're hitting the stretch marks. And you're going over it over and over and over it. It doesn't feel good.
No.
It's definitely like a different kind of pain. It's not the same pain as just getting like a normal tattoo. That was probably my worst.
100%.
Piercings. What about piercings?
I had my lip done before. Mm-hmm. I have 2 nose ones and 3 lobes, 4 cartilage now, I guess. I got those done with you, so that's fine.
And the septum, yeah.
Yeah, that's my 2 noses, so nostril and septum. Mm-hmm. I think that's it for me, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and my belly once.
Belly, yeah.
Once.
What have I had? I've had my belly button done a bunch. Mm-hmm. I've had my lip done. my nose on both sides, and then I just have basic like ear piercings. Did I say? Yeah, I said belly button. That's really it. I haven't done a lot with piercings. I've done them multiple times, but I've never done anything out of that. I would do ears again and everything. The most painful one for me was maybe the one side of the nose. There was like more cartilage than the other side, but it wasn't like none of them have been
I think all of them have been bearable enough to do a second time.
Yeah, like I've done the belly button like 3 times. I've done the lip
That
once,
might be the one I don't want to do again. Something about it makes me feel nauseous to think about.
The one time, so we'll do like an experience. This one time I got it done, and I'm not going to drop names in the place, but
We probably have the same person.
yeah, it's a very known place in this area. And
Very known artist.
yeah, and I got my belly button pierced a bunch of times before, like I said, and it was scarred. Like there was a lot of scar tissue, right? So having it done with a taper needle, which if you don't know is just a flat tip needle, there's like no point on it at all. So it's literally just sticking a metal bar flat in through skin, which is stupid. That was the decision, I guess, to go through my belly button to pierce it. So it was literally the most horrible experience I've ever had, and I even offered to pay like the money up front without even finishing. I was like, I don't want this to happen anymore. I'm gonna die. And I was bleeding, like it was awful. And obviously it doesn't heal properly because there was so much trauma to that one little tiny area.
Yeah.
So I left after I had to get a cold cloth put on my head because I was like fainting. And I'm driving, and all of a sudden everything became a tunnel, and I had that like black hole, and I like passed out at the wheel. Thankfully I knew it was coming, I could feel it, and I just pulled over and like parked in a parking lot. But I fainted like from the pain, and it never healed right. Like I had to take it out and do it again. I had to get pierced by somebody else years later because I was like petrified. And even when he saw like the holes from the other one, he's like, what the hell? I'm like, yeah, like it's been my poor belly button, like there's been people piercing it. I've had it done so many times, and like now it's finally healed proper.
Even I have the nasty scar from the person as well.
Yeah, and it scars bad, right? But like it's cute to have, but obviously eventually like you won't have it forever. But the scar is just gnarly. Like it's really
Oh yeah,
gross.
If it's not done right, you're definitely stuck with that memory.
Yeah. Have you had any bad piercing?
Other than my belly button, it's like my belly button tried to swallow that piercing hole, and I don't know if it was in the right spot. When I think about it and I look at it, it thinks it was maybe too high. Other than that, my mom was a piercer for a while, and this was years ago. Like I was really, really young. So at the time she was probably still practicing certain things. Like at the time the gun was legal, and your cartilage is so sensitive when you're doing piercings anyway that a gun can shatter it. She had done the top of my cartilage like way up here.
Yeah.
At the very top with the gun, and that had shattered it and caused a big keloid and things like that. Lots of things went wrong. Other than that, I haven't had any bad piercings that I couldn't fix or that didn't fix themselves.
Yeah. That's me. You see, my thing is the keloids and issues with the nose.
Mm-hmm.
As I have one right now. So, but it just makes
They're
it more
uncomfortable.
Difficult. Yeah, and you want to keep them. Like I would love to have had both of my nose piercings stay, but one did not.
No, and sometimes it's just, you look at a keloid and you think it's an infection or that something's wrong, but a keloid is so normal. And I had my keloid for months, and then after a year, and I've had mine since 14 and I'm 23, it has never ever had a problem again.
Yeah.
One day it'll go away and it'll just stay away.
Yeah. See, it's like big right now, but I think it's from the pool and everything, because it kept like, it almost fell out a few times. So that definitely gave it some trauma. So I have to be super duper cautious with it right now. But other than that, I haven't, like I can't say I've had bad piercing experiences. I've had a bad tattoo experience. So my dog passed away, a year ago now, and I got her foot done on my rib, and we're not gonna drop names, but it was somewhere that, again, was well known, and the person had done stuff for me, like for my, well, for not for me, but for people that I knew before. So obviously you're trusting other people. And, you know, you should know when the shop smells like pot when you walk in, that you should probably just turn around.
Yeah, legal or not, I think it's a level of professionalism.
Yeah, so you should probably just go home. But I was like, well, I'm not going to waste their time and my time. I just came here, like, I'm just going to do it. So I sit down, like, it's sketched out. It looks great because it's just an ink blot. Like, it's very small, and it was easy to do. And so starts doing it. And it's like, yeah, like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's an ink blot. Just rapidly, like, rubbing it out on my ribs. And ribs are tender. And especially the way that they have you lay your arm up. Like, you're stretching the skin. It's thin. So it's not somewhere that you can just traumatize. And
ribs are sensitive.
oh, yeah. So when I got, like, done, it was beautiful. I was like, this is perfect. Day 2. And, like, I have tons of tattoos. I know when a tattoo is not, something's off. It was swollen, but, like, the ink was bubbled. And it was, like, an inch high off my skin. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, that's not supposed to happen. I was like, something's wrong. Like, I know. And it was goopy. Like, it looked like my knee, like, with that, like, an open cut. Like, it was disgusting. So I kept, like, putting cream on it. I was like, maybe it's just, like, the trauma of it. Like, I don't know. But now it looks like scars.
Yeah.
Like, it healed, like, scar tissue. Like, it looks fine. Like, you can see it's a paw print, but you can see that, like, skin is missing. It's, like, gray muck kind of color now. And I'm like, it's so upsetting because it was probably the most meaningful one. And it's, like, ruined. And I'm sure I can probably get it done again, but I'm kind of, like, nervous for that area.
Yeah, which is understandable, too, for something so sentimental.
Well, and it's forever. And I'm not going to pay, like, a bunch of money to get it removed because it should have been done. And when I brought it up to this person, because I was like, listen, like, I know something's, like, off. I got, oh, that's normal. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And when I had talked to, like, different, like, people that I know who are tattoo artists, they were like, that's not normal. Like, and I've even had, like, friends and stuff, like, when they saw
bubbling
it. Like,
is not really normal unless it's, if you get the second skin, which I don't know the clinical name for it.
Tegaderm?
Yeah, you get bubbling under there because the ink is trapped into that.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that, there should be no bubbling of any kind.
I could probably find a picture.
Other than what I had, which was fresh within an hour, you have to wash that layer off.
No, see, this was, like, the bubbling was hard. It was, like, scabbed. I'll see if I can find a picture and I'll insert it in this video so you guys can see it. But, like, it was gnarly. And, like, it just looked like, it looked infected. And I was kind of panicked because I'm like, fuck, like, if my tattoo's, like, infected. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to deal with an infection, whether you're getting a piercing or a tattoo. Like, you're going somewhere where you trust that the work is going to speak for itself with reputable names.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm telling you, people, do your research.
Yeah.
Like, take anything from what we're saying and do your research.
I also agree on that. I think there should be a level of research before getting anything permanent to the body.
Same thing with, like, injections.
Oh, yeah. 100%, which you're looking into right now.
Yes. A Korean nose lift?
Ion?
Yeah. Korean nose lift. They use, like, string.
Threading
into
and
the nose
filler.
That is the current thing that I'm dealing with of debation, because I have, like, a bump on my bridge and I want to, like, have the cute little, like, buttony nose.
Yep.
But I don't want to do the whole, like, full term nose jobs. So I feel like this is, like, a safer route. But I don't know, because watching the video of it today, it kind of mortified me.
Which is so understandable.
And it just, like, freaks me out. So I don't know yet. We're still on debate.
I also believe that should be debatable. That's a very serious procedure. Threading is so invasive, whereas filler really isn't.
Well, no, and filler goes away, like, in time. But I find that it's hard with the threading, because I don't know what that does.
It's, from what I can see in videos, it's like it's underneath your skin and it tugs it and it pulls it, but I don't know how it's necessarily like locked in.
Yeah, like
I just see the video of it hooking it and pulling it.
What is it tied to? Like, and what happens when, like, does the thread just dissolve itself?
I know it takes a few months sometimes to settle depending on what you have.
But does it dissolve, or does it have to get removed?
I am not sure.
Like, that alone, it just seems very invasive to me. Like, that seems like
having
a lot.
something go in with a little hook and pull at your skin 100% is invasive.
Well, yeah, and then what? And then you got a piece of string in your nostrils or in your cheeks or in your, you know, like, and
somewhere.
Then,
yeah, considering jaw, like, where does it hook to? My earlobes? Like,
I feel like they'd have to tie it to some skin underneath.
You have to put it somewhere.
But, like, is it a little knot at the end, like when you do a sewing needle? Like,
highly recommending people who are looking for something like threading to look into it and watch videos and see where these things are happening, because whether you're numbed or not, you're going to feel a little bit of the procedure.
And it's sometimes you have really bad reactions.
Yeah.
Like, even with fillers and stuff, like, you never know how you're going to react to that
or
stuff.
anesthetics for that matter, too. Like, being numbed at all. Sometimes people can't even have that.
I know. I've seen a video on TikTok, and this girl literally blew up.
Yeah.
Like a balloon in her lips, and it wasn't even from the filler.
It was from the anesthetic.
It was from the numbing, and she's like, what the hell? Like, she had a balloon reaction, so thankfully she didn't get the actual filler.
Yeah, because you can't proportionately fill that out and pick where it's supposed to go, because once your lip starts to react, you don't really know where to put it.
No, it freaks me out, see? Well, even for filler, like, if you have a reaction, it's just like you have to get it dissolved, but that's pretty painful too, from what I've heard. So it doesn't seem like it'd be the ideal thing to do.
Not at all.
Because then you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
And if you have, like, normal size lips before, you're kind of doomed.
Yeah.
You're not looking the same when you're done.
No, 100% not.
I don't know. Freaks me out. Anyways, we're getting late. We're shutting down. Oops.
Nap time or bedtime.
It's bedtime. I know. We're doing these, like, late ones. But yeah, I mean, if you guys have suggestions for next rounds, we're usually open to suggestions. I do post them, like, a comment box on the story every once in a while, but you can comment in the YouTube as well.
We can do them after the flower field.
Yeah, we could do another one. We'll probably have more recorded just to have them.
More this week for sure, with some other suggestions that we find from you guys through Sam's Instagram.
Yes. If you don't have the Instagram and you're just finding the YouTube, it's Rowdy Rocka Pods on Instagram. That way we can kind of hear from everybody, so we know, like, what you guys want to hear. I had a comment, like, I had people recommending, like, stupid things. I'm not going to talk about penises or shit or, like, stupid stuff that we're not going to get a comment out of. So, I mean, in reality, you could talk about penises for a very long time, yes.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know.
I think right now, during this time, it would be a little bit more entertaining to talk about something we talk for, like, a long time of. It's topics that people can really, really relate to, that people have genuine questions about, whether they're asking on the podcast or waiting for someone else to ask. There's so many other topics that we can really branch out on.
And we want to bring on, like, their virtual guests, I guess, since we can't do actual
That could be really
people.
fun, too, having some people maybe pop in and out during a podcast.
Because I want to see, like, we want to get guys' opinions on stuff, too.
Oh, we need it.
We have our opinions on things, but for our previous podcasts, like the nudes and, like, stuff like that, like, it would be nice to have an outside opinion, like what guys think of that kind of stuff. I
agree.
Yeah, like, what do you think of that? What does that do in your sense? Like, we know how we
can comment
feel
all the time about how we feel and how girls feel, and other girls can relate to us, but sometimes it's nice having a guy's opinion, what maybe they think or how things actually work from their perspective.
Yeah, I want to know. Like, I want to know what guys think of when they get a nude. I mean, obviously we know the physical aspects of what they get from getting a nude, but, like, I want to hear what, to the guys that don't like them, the way girls don't like them. Yeah. Like, that would be interesting. Or even, like, opinions on dating or opinions on your type of women. You know, like, we always have our one-sided girl opinion because we know what girls like, but we don't know what guys like. Because some guys like some weird things. Yeah. So, put your comments in if you want any other suggestions or if you want to be a guest. I mean, by all means, very open to doing it, and I will post it on the actual podcast Instagram for recommendations of guests, and I will post it on the personal Instagram as well. So we are going to sign off for tonight. Jeri is snoozing, so we have had a long day in the sun with tequila.
Oh yeah, tequila, vodka, gin on my part.
What was that other stuff?
Mezcal, which is the pure form of tequila that has the worm included.
Which was disgusting, FYI. So, no mezcal for anyone. None. It's literally the worm. It looks like a maggot. Like it's like a mealworm.
Yeah.
Ooh, no,
I can't look at what you looked at. It'll make you throw up.
I literally looked at its face.
Nope.
And it looked back at me. Yeah. So on that note, because Jeri's going to go die, remember to wrap it before you tap it.
Don't be silly, wrap your willy.
And we will see you guys next time.